everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's Back. If this is your 12th Rookie Season 4 episode review, I want to say. If you're wondering why does the lighting look a little bit different or why does this side of my face look a little dark, George took the lighting setup because he's recording some new content for our brand new channel, The Collection Compass, launching next month. And so he's getting his video prepared up and he needed a lighting source set. What's in the Tube can survive a couple weeks without the fancy lighting source, so y'all be fine. It's mostly my voice and my face you came about, so don't worry there. This week on The Rookie, it's only been 2 weeks off, but I already missed this world. Plus, again, it felt like forever because, again, this is just how my world is right now. My life is that every single week feels like forever, and it feels quick at the same time. So, yeah. So this week on The Rookie, it's mostly kind of just, it's not a fill episode per se. It's more of just about, like, progressing the storylines, giving revelations to a couple characters, and, kind of giving some interesting, like, thought-provoking stuff. But it's still the same humor. I think this is just one of those regular comedic episodes of The Rookie that we all love so much. And as always, for me, I love it. So most of the stuff is really, I just got to get down into it. So let's go through the butchered recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So where was I? Oh, yeah, I haven't even started the recap yet. So we begin with, we begin on the beach. Bradford and Jen are responding to a call from Bradford's girlfriend, and Jen's making a comment like, "Oh, I'm at the beach and I can't go swimming because it's I'm in uniform." And Bradford's like, "Who cares? It's a bunch of bacterial waste, pollution, and everything." Which I'm like, do I even want to go back to the ocean by this point? I mean, Bradford's got a point. I mean, he really does. So anyway, they meet up with Ashley, Bradford's girl. I remember the name of these characters at the worst times and the weirdest times in the world. I can't explain it, but anyway. So they go check out the reason why they're there because someone reported a severed hand in the middle of the beach, which I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to go to the beach this summer, to be honest with you. I don't think I will. So we come over to the station. Nolan obviously just got voted in as union rep, and everyone's happy, and Harper has already started her pregnancy moods, or her emotions are just over the place. It's crazy to see. I never imagined Harper to be a Mrs. Nice Woman, and I'm seeing it and I'm just like, this is creepy. This is a little creepy. I don't expect this reaction. Even she says, I hate this, and I'm like, I hate it too. This is not the Harper we know and love. We really don't. But also, not only does Nolan get the swarm of congratulations from everywhere in the LA area, everyone in the precinct is ready to go to Nolan's like, okay, you promised change. Here's all the changes. We want Cheetos in the vending machine again. We want pigs to be official canine units. We want the new Kevlar last. We want everything. And Smithy's like, if you just had voted me district rep, you wouldn't be stressed like this. And Nolan's like, nope, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it all. And he meets with this the union president. And honestly, I just look at this guy. I'm like, I don't like you already. I don't. And he's kind of already being got like a sleazy attitude to Nolan, like just like, you know what, just take it easy. Don't worry. Just enjoy the congratulations right now. Just enjoy it. Don't worry about, all the changes you're going to do. Don't worry about all the campaigns you're going to do. Like, don't worry about that. That's going to come later on. Just enjoy your time. Enjoy your life. Have a couple martinis. Go out a couple dinners, just for celebration. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't trust this guy whatsoever right now. So, I believe going forward, what was next? I mean, also, New Rook, aka maybe Aaron, is probably off busy filming his reality show, so he's not on this week again. I know Lopez and Wesley's small subplot of the week is that I don't understand this, and I probably will never understand until I have my own kids. But one of the things we get to see early on is apparently they already are trying to get little Jack into preschool. The baby hasn't even turned 1 yet, and you're already getting him to preschool. I mean, it's called Enjoy Parenthood for a little bit. And they already got an interview with the Harvard of preschools, which I'm like, bruh, why is there a Harvard for preschool? I mean, the whole point of Harvard is to get there when you're super smart, not to get there when you're super drooly. And I know that didn't make a lick of sense, but like, I'm tired. I'm not with my best puns tonight. Even, however, the interview's going well, and Lopez is like really excited because she didn't get that opportunity of her growing up and her having some sort of chance. But Jack is definitely something that she wants to give her son. Wesley, since he's already lived through that side of things and he's already kind of dealt with like kind of the negative side effects, he's not really entirely sold on putting Jack through the same routine, and he gets a little bit defensive and a little bit argumentative towards the dean, and they kind of lose their chance of doing it, and Lopez kind of gets frustrated because, again, it's the traditional parental thing that you want the best for your child, and you want to give them like the best possible opportunity. Most of the time, especially with older generations, for newer generation, they want to give their kid the opportunities that you were not given when you were a child, which obviously that makes sense. I mean, obviously, for me, like when I have my own kids, at least I want to do the same exact thing my father did for me, which is I'll get them what I want, and also I'm going to teach them the responsibility of getting the certain things. But that's going to come eventually in due time. So, okay, so from that point onward, then we get to the rest of the matter. We get a visiting Italiano, Italian detective. I was trying to be fancy, okay. Coming in to hunt down this person who fled the country. He murdered someone. He stole a bunch of diamonds, a bunch of expensive jewelry, and he's in the LA area because he came to LA, and and thankfully we needed to give Gray some actual plot, because no offense, Gray's been kind of relegated to background duty a lot of the times lately, getting that one great line in the episode, and then we don't really get to see him afterwards. It's kind of been his role lately, which kind of does suck. But like I was just happy, like finally he got something to do. I'm just fine. I'm happy, and even like he's like, don't worry, like just give me my permits, give me my permission, I'll do this on my own. And Gray's like, nope, I need to be in the action, which I'm like, thank you. I missed you in the action. I missed you. So they go off to go talk to a CI over the thing. I know Chen and Bradford are the one trying to follow up with the investigation. They find out there was a completely separate investigation for a missing person / theft in a massive company. I don't know. These corporations get too finicky as you go along in life. Yeah, but the CEO, for some reason, is the one immediately answering the questions. He's not willing to give up anything because it's trade secrets, or it's confidential, or I just don't want to admit my very questionable ways of making some money. That's basically the point I'm trying to make there. Yeah, so Lopez comes in, and the guy's still very defensive and very much not trying to communicate what he wants. So they decide, you know what? If he doesn't want to assist, that's all we can do is just file it, report it, and just do what we can. Let the investigators take it from there. But eventually, Nolan and Harper get called into a dead-on-arrival case, and the coincidental part is that the guy died because of loss of blood from losing his hand. And as you remember, Bradford and Chen found a severed hand, so they connected two. It's what was it? It's the employee from the company that they were Bradford was just at. So they connected two cases, so it's mostly all hands on deck on that, since they figured out that whoever chopped up the hand went around and got him back into the offices, and got some information and got out. The questionable thing that we still don't know about is why, and they bring back the CEO in with a lawyer, and one of the things that the CEO, like the lawyer's kind of like a douchebag. He's like, just like, my client's not allowed to answer this, or my client has the full permission not to disclose this information. And Lopez finally reveals that now you're just a guy who is trying to connect technology, biology, and cybernetics, kind of that thing, that's sort of communicated. And he's like, how'd you figure that out? It's like, I'm a cop. What do you expect? And they're like, okay, fine. Yeah, there's this one guy, this guy named Chester. He used to work there, but he was very offside on his work. He was making some certain progressions on his work that was not sanctioned at the time. And it was, eventually he got a little bit too crazy at work, so they decided to let him go. But he's been continuing his research privately, and then eventually it got to the point where he started harassing the CEOs, like, look, I'm so close to a breakthrough. You just got to let me back in the office for like one day, and then we'll be good. And the guy's like, look, you're fired. You got some mental problems. You need to step away and forget about this. So I'm guessing this guy finally drove over the edge, got this guy and chopped off his hand and went back in to get the information on his own. That's the working theory right now. So they try to go find this guy. Nolan and Harper are the first ones to respond to it. And also around the same time as they're about to go in, Nolan gets a call from one of the district leaders that is key and crucial to kind of getting the movement going for to do these changes. And obviously Nolan's like ready to go. He's like, okay, finally someone who can really help me for change is contacting me. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. So they set up something for that night. They visit Chester's place. It is a very, very, very creepy zone to be in. And one of the things that I found to be creepy is that they keep hearing this knocking going around. And one of the things that that was so creepy is that by the time they go into the back, it's a lot of creepy notes, a lot of animals. I'm just like, this is something out of a horror show or a Frankenstein movie or something of that. And it turns out the knocking was an arm without a person. And I was like, how? Someone once said science is amazing. Science can also be creepy. So now that they figured out that, yeah, he's successfully reanimated like dead pieces of bodies. Now they're just trying to paint the pictures together. They managed to get all the information from, say, video files, personal video diaries, and this guy clearly was off the deep end a little bit. He really was. So now their priority is to find this guy, figure out what he did, and they start piecing more of the clues together about him. That how did he get the dead people parts? He probably got them from a morgue somewhere, but we don't really get to much of that right now for the time being because there's a lot of side stuff happening. Mostly is that Bradford's girlfriend wants Bradford to go and try this weird new fusion cuisine mini buffet that basically it's 12 unique new types of food and everything. And I'm just thinking to myself, this sounds interesting. This sounds something a couple of my friends would love to do. Bradford does not want to go into this because he's very typical. He very much stays to what he knows, what he likes, and doesn't like to do anything new. But because, he's in a relationship or whatever, he's got to make some concessions. So he agrees to go. And I forgot where we went for there. Yeah, but eventually down the line, Bradford does get a call from her that, like, the original couple they were going to double date with had to back out because of last-minute things. And so they have 2 free tickets, and they're trying to figure out who to go. And, Bradford's like, you know what, let's save the problematic Chen who's been dying to go there because she was fangirling earlier when she heard that they were going to get invited, and she was excited. And then the ADA that we kind of have a feeling she has a crush on, kind of has a vibe going off, is also nearby. And like Bradford is immediately picking up that, like, yeah, you've been a little bit more friendly to the guy once the kid case wrapped up. So I get this feeling you like him. So here's the thing. I'm going to set you both up on a double date, which I'm like, yeah, you don't want your first date with someone to be on a double date, because the problem is that the person that they know is going to be more the person they're talking to instead of talking to the person that they're supposed to be on a date with. So it's not really the smartest idea, to be honest with you. But that was not really thought of clearly, to be honest with you. What happens after that? I forgot what happened after that, but. No. Nolan first meets up with the district leader, and he's already pitching ideas, and she's like surprised, like, every time a delegate from the district gets picked out and they get elected, and I try to meet with them, they are normally not wanting to talk to me. And honestly, you're the first one to actually really be this enthusiastic. I'm like, oh, this is a nice change of pace. Obviously, this is Nolan. We love this guy, and he's already on the bandwagon of that. So it's like, it's great. Nolan's like also happy that like someone's actually listened to him, and that he wants to do this pilot program to have more responders specifically for crisis intervention to come into the fields and like actually have people on the payroll for that. And and she's like, I'm all ears. Like, I'll gladly help pitch you this idea to the council. And it's like, this is great news for him. Meanwhile, Gray's still out with the Italian detective. They meet up with the CI, and this guy's kind of a little bit moved. Like, he's an official investigator, but he's doing a lot of movie references, and I'm like, huh. He watches too many American flicks, to be honest with you. Even I watch too many American flicks. Even by the end of the night, like, honestly, like it's just like, for me, I was thinking, oh, this is just probably just a clash of personalities that like. Gray's going to learn something from this guy because I guess detectives in Italy just do things differently, and maybe he's going to learn, like, especially like we get to see him in the car, and Gray's like a little bit more wanting to like still be on the case and trying to like help him out and trying to, you know, be active. But the guy's like, look, you have a wife, go spend some time with her. Cause you know, the time is fleeting, cause he's telling the story that he used to have a superior who he was very close with, and you know he would always tell him this sort of thing, but you know he was always glued to the job, always on the case, and then he never really had time for a private life. And then like once his superior died on the job, and like you know he was gone, he started to realize that time is very much fleeting. It's very sensitive, and you want to take advantage of the time you had. And Gray is starting to get the gray a little bit. Like he wants to spend time with his wife a little bit more, and he will. Just not tonight because she has book club. So he stays along since they got a lead on the guy that they're looking after. They find him after doing a diamond trade show, which we don't really get to see. It's more like, you know, outside the building. They head over there, and immediately the Italian detective's like, you know, this is it. This is my chance. I'm going to go in. He starts shooting the guy, but the guy gets away, and Gray's question is like, why did you shoot at him? Like he wasn't firing first, but he's like, look, he had a gun in his hand. He had his gun. You didn't see it, but he had a gun. So you need to, like, next time you should have helped me out. We should have got him. We should have put an end to him right away. But Gray's like, I don't believe you, man. I really don't. Meanwhile, the dinner at the beach, the fusion dinner, very nice, very eloquent, kind of an interesting pairing that I don't know how double dates work. I've been on dates, but I've never been on a double date, so like, I really don't know what the prerogative is. It's if it's like the couple stays together or like just friends, or like I don't know how it works. But you know, we get to there. Normally it should be Bradford talking to his girlfriend, Chen trying to get to know this guy. And it's not really like that. It's not really going like that. It's mostly more Chen and Bradford banter going along. You know, talking about their what they were doing on duty and just cases and that sort of thing. But the thing that I took notes, like they were really pitching this like they're really close, like they're getting a little bit too close for comfort. And you know, here is Bradford's girlfriend who's like supposed to be on a date with him, and then here comes this other guy who wants to get to know Chen, but they're just too wrapped around in each other that they don't notice. And then meanwhile, I'm just looking at this food. I'm like, this food looks Instagram worthy, I guess, but in reality, it isn't something I like, because if you know something about me, I like to eat a lot. I like to eat as much as I can. I do not like eating this freaking small ass food. So pay to mind on that. Where do we go from there? I want to say we go next to, I want to say, I forgot where we go next with that. Eventually, once at the end of the meal, it kind of just seems like, the whole night's been about Chen and Bradford just talking about themselves and talking about, like, you know, their working relationship and stuff like that. Bradford girlfriend just stands there like, look, I'm gonna go home. Like, this has not been the funnest night. This is supposed to be a brand new experience for you and me, and it wasn't. And the ADA is like, I didn't really get to know you at all. Like, you know, what kind of dinner was this? And Jen is just like eating her dessert, like just like her one bite dessert. And I'm just like thinking to myself, this food looks very unappealing again. We cut to the next day. Chen was still watching the video logs after their sort of double date and trying to get some research on the guy. That's where they get the lead that he probably went to a morgue to perceive some of the body parts that he had in his lab. And so they go over to the morgue, but they find the main security guard not there. As they look around, they find him dead already. And then they find the guy holding all the morticians hostage so that he can get more body parts to continue his research, which I'm like, damn, you're doing all this for dead bodies? Are you really doing this? So Chen and Bradford trying to figure out a way to like get in there and try to like take him down without, you know, and this is exactly why I'm still questioning like things of like, are they meant to be together in terms of a romantic relationship? Are they just really great friends? Or Bradford just doesn't want to admit it? Like, I really don't know. Like, the writers just keep finding this perfect blend of things. I'm like, I'm so confused. Like, I really am. Eventually, they have this very neat, like, you know, Bradford is the distraction, and Chen, like, you know, rolls into there and, like, electrocutes the guy, and, you know, he's taken out, thankfully. So that wraps up that matter. Does anything else happen? So once Great starts realizing that this Italian detective is a little bit suspicious, he contacted some of the people back in Italy, and he's currently under investigation for misconduct. He wasn't even supposed to be in the United States. He shouldn't have been approved for that, but he's there off the books. And so him trying to kill this guy last night was like definitely something that was not approved by anyone. So they have to find a way to get to the guy that he's hunting after first, and also trying to find a way to take this guy down as well at the same time. Thankfully, Nolan and Harper do manage to find the criminal first. But, Gray's like, I have a plan. Like, stay tight. So they head over to the guy's location, and Harper is, doing something else. So it's just the three of them. And the guy's like, you know what? We don't have to wait for backup. We don't have to do anything right now. We could just go in, the three of us. We're enough to take him down. So let's do it. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So the Italian detective sneaks back behind the back. He finds supposedly the guy's room. He goes in and he's like, who stays in the shower anymore? Like, who really does? It's 2022. Well, timeline-wise for them, 2019, 2020, whatever you want to call it. So it's just not pliable anymore. But he goes in and he notices when he starts shooting immediately, doesn't even bother to like open the thing, look at his ding dong. No, just to verify him. No, he just opens he just goes into the bathroom and starts shooting it. But the weird thing is that the guy keeps singing after the bullet shots, and he goes to check. No, they just put a tape recorder with his singing on it. I'm like, bruh, Italian just got fucked over by the LAPD. Yeah. That happens. So that wraps it up, basically. They extradite both of them back to Italy so they can go both these charges. So, and I'm like, damn. And actually, Gray's feeling a little bit bad because like he was actually liking the dude. I'm like, really? You liked him? Quoting movies every day, and then also just like, I mean, the only silver lining was that he was actually giving some actually pretty good advice to Gray. But besides that, like the rest of his act was a facade just to get close to the police and just to get to this guy. Like that was all he was doing. And maybe Gray can keep the part about like trying to focus more about his outside life than his work life, but that's another tale for another day. I guess the last thing about this episode is Chen and the ADA do have to talk about it, and Chen does want to give him a chance. That they have such a great relationship with Bradford that like she kind of like got carried away and forgot about him. So they decided to give another first date another chance. So they go out for hot dogs. Bradford, on the other hand, I was honestly feeling a little bit worried about him because I was thinking like, is this where they're going to drop the whole, like, oh, you have a crush on Chen. Like, you have feelings for her. And they're like, no, is this Bradford like, you know what? I want to give this a chance. I want to give this relationship a go. So let's go wherever you want. Let's hit the freeway. Let's drive until we're both tired out and go find a place to eat and go find things to do. And she's like, okay, let's do it. So I'm like, Bradford's going to have the time of his life tonight. Not that way. And lastly, I know Wesley and Lopez finish up their little school debacle, and by consenting, they're like, yeah, you know what, instantly, because Wesley went out to go like repair things with Dean, so their son is in. But since they don't want to have future arguments, they decide like tonight we will have all the arguments in the world to settle the parenting styles for our child. And he's like, interesting, but why? And we're just gonna leave it there. And the last thing of note is that Nolan's packing up for the day, and then the district leader is, angry at him because apparently he was not told there was going to be a district meeting, a district court of hearing for this change, for this, new initiative. Because like he's mad because like you're not supposed to make changes. You're supposed to have this position of power, have the power, but only use it for yourself. Which I'm like, bro, that's like the most generic, selfish act in the world, but. I guess we got to that point in the rookie that, yeah, there's a guy like that and he's not happy because like he doesn't want change. He wants to focus just on the benefits of the actual delegates and some of the police officers. That's it. That's all they were meaning to do. And no one is losing that, is already like destroying that already because they're actually going to do something called work. Which I'm like, y'all are crazy. Well, this guy's crazy, and he guarantees like, yeah, you're not gonna be in office in long. Like, I will find a way to take you out because like, I have a way of doing things, and this is the only reason why I see Smithy only keeping his position of power because he's a lazy piece of crap. And yes, that's the way I'm gonna end up the episode. Even though there's one more scene with him and Harper, like, no, that's the perfect way to end this episode by calling Smithy a piece of crap. But I love him so. So. This episode I really enjoyed. It was just another simplistic episode of The Rookie. You got a little bit of progression storyline. You finally put Gray back out there, giving him something to do. Because, again, I was very optimistic on what I thought Gray was going to get this season, but we didn't. The season's not over yet, so I think we could still get him. I'm like, I don't know by this point. I really don't know. So we'll see how that goes. It was fun to still play around with the Bradford Chen dynamic a little bit more about, like, really crossing the line between, like, are they romantic? Are they just really good sibling counterparts? Like, we still don't know. I don't know. I'm still very much baffled. I'm down for whatever, but I'm like, pick a side already. It's been 4 seasons. Season 5 still like a TBD, so I'm like, you got to figure it out at some point. And yeah, this was just a fun episode. This wasn't too complicated, too over the top. It was just fun. And sometimes you just want to get a fun episode out of the way before we get to like some of the crazier stuff down the line, whatever that will be. So for me, I'm going to give this episode 1 3/4 thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of The Rookie? I'm always down for conversation down below. And I believe that's going to do it for me tonight, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the 2 from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 4th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing overall, What's the 2 besides our Rookie episode reviews, we're currently doing Walker Season 2 episode reviews and Nancy Drew Season 3 episode reviews each and every week after their brand new episodes on the CW, respectively on their aired nights. If you don't care about The Rookie, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another episode review on time because this weekend has been crazy. So I apologize on that. So we'll be back next week on time, hopefully. But again, I think that's it. So again, this has been What's the 2 from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live. Please also like, favorite, share this episode review if you want to. Help us get this out there to other members of the Rookie Nation. Please also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates we may have for the channel. And yeah, ring that bell for notifications when our next episode is live. So until then, for all you members of the Rookie Nation, I'll see y'all next week for the next episode review. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.